Hi again, chaps. Pete here. This video is really about door detailing. As long as I haven't forgot it. Oh yeah, well, that's good. Just looking at the door card panels, and the detail on them. You can't see them in this light hardly. They're on such a shallow relief, so I'm just draw around these and show you what I do to improve the detail on these. And it starts with drawing around them. Sometimes actually when I'm cleaning a brush, if I've been brush painting, I'll wash over stuff like this and it will give me a light wash and highlight all this details, which saves doing it with a pen. You just clean your brush out over an old part. So now I can see better now what I'm actually looking at. And I believe that there is the door opening lever, and that is the window winder, though there's another thing there, so I don't know whether that's the door opening catch. I'm not quite sure. I have to really have another look at. I wonder what that switch does. If anybody out there actually knows what they're trying to describe there, I'd be very interested to know. And then in that case, what do the other ones operate? I would have thought that was the door opening lever, and that's so far what I've been treating it as. So moving on to the other side, which I've actually done. I started to do. Shit, everything's gone everywhere. Oh, while I'm here, look, my Colonel Reb's plaque thing disc turned up the other day. That's fantastic. I'm really chuffed with that. That was a great event. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I'll go and sit over there with Johnny Hacksaw. Excellent, that was great fun. So now I've lifted my levers off of the. It might be easier to describe if I show you the. I always make notes through this, and this image, if I can get in there, might be better. No, that's not going to work, is it? All my stuff's too close to me. Watch all this collapse. Gosh, ball-sprung dork technique, and it's still not going to fit. Oh yes, it is. Got. Can you all see that? And what I do is lift the handle off after drilling holes through the actual panel. I start off by where I marked round these, drill through all the way through, because I'm going to pin them back on later. So then I after drilling through there, I lift them off and then make spaces to go behind them. God, that fag in my hand again. So if you can see in there, God, this will be a good one. Right, I've got my lever on a pin, and halfway down that pin is a spacer, and that'll give the clearance I want. And the same with the handle there, like I say, I was taking to be a door catch. Now the shadow lines from where I lifted it off will show me where they were. But by lifting them up like that, you get such a, look at the, if I can get that around there so you can see the shadow, but the definition even without painting them is much greater. I've actually heated up round the back so as I don't lose them while I was doing this video, but I'll take these off, bag them up, paint them separately, and then like the other parts they'll go on at the end. And there was another door detail. Oh, that's good, I can get to that. And that was the outer door handle was moulded in. If I put that up against that box, right? So I've cleaned out the back of the door handle, and yet again I start off by drilling and marking, or rather marking than drilling, by marking around the handle to leave a black sort of smudged line, whatever, for locating, then having a look, you know, through to the other side and drilling through. I've got another hole drill just at the back there to go into this back edge of the handle for when because I'll lift these off when I've finished messing around, prepare the car and all the bodywork, and put these on again at the final stage. So I'll have a pin there that will go through the door and be glued into the door and help me locate the handle on again at the end of it. I was talking to Phil up at Bench Customs the other day, and we were on about silly ideas with this. So I've got onto another one, and I'll have to really try to get this in close somehow. But this is an operating door catch, and I've made the button go through there. I really don't know how to operate this phone better. If you can see that there is a button, and I can press that and it will spring back out. I'm whispering in fear of breaking the blooming thing, because this is oh, did you hear that ping back? Right, I've got movement on there. This is a tapering peg through a hole, and it's sprung on the back by a piece of plastic strip. And maybe if you're watching, yeah. How about that? How extreme can we get, Phil? Oh yeah, and the other topic we were on about was bonnet pins. Holding bonnets up with cocktail sticks is so good to look at. It really is. So along beside our bonnet hinge, there's a nice little pin that dangles from the bonnet. We'll locate like that, and if I can balance it because it's not hinged in yet, I've got a little hole at the front of the bonnet. I've started to wobble like heck. There you go. Plonk, bonk. Shit, I knew that would happen. Try again. It all worked earlier, didn't it? Right. So there. Sitting there. Like I said, I haven't got the actual hinges in place. If there was a bit, right, that'll hold that up like that. Much better looking than a cocktail stick. It tucks up behind that little piece of strip up there. Bonk. Now, I'm sure I can get to when that is in situ, because this was the other thing. Can you like hold that like that with one hand and twang this around with your tweezers? It will involve using tweezers, but then it's, you know, to scale more, isn't it? There you go, and tucked up out of the way. I thought that was much better. Like I say, with block fitting of hinges, you'll end up with a much stronger bond of where your hinge actually is mounted. And talking of which, what was that fell off? Oh yeah, moved that sprue, that's right. I've done quite a lot more to the bulkhead here and got everything taped in, because as it's a pickup, it's a very, with no bed, it started getting very flimsy around doing this. So I've started gluing in the bulkheads, even though I haven't taken that door, the far door out yet. I've glued in a bulkhead there, a partition sort of thing. I've made up my new front bulkhead there because this had aircon and all stuff like that. So I'm changing that. And up inside, I was hoping you'd be able to see, can we see through the vent? No. Oh, I've opened up these vents. They're going to get mesh in there. But inside, up into that top corner, I've got a locating point. I don't want to untape this because I've still got things to do. But that will where the box part of that hinge is, that will sort of bucket into the side underneath, right? And then feed that in, bucket it in, you know, at the end stages, and be back in there. There was another thing I just come up then. Stop doing this. Come on, Peter, what was it? I remember once I've shut down. It must have been something to do with it. Oh yeah, I know what it was. Scribing doors out. I've seen several people's videos where they're, you know, get your scalpel scribed down like that. On this, you've got to be careful around the front, because there is nothing there. You know, there is a mill hooking that on in between there and there of kip part, and when you start cutting that out there, and you also want to be angling your scalpel so as you're not cutting straight down like that. You know, it's not a scalpel, I know, but bear with me. Right, this cut is at an angle down like that. And if I had one with me, the cut is actually well into that sort of an angle. Sorry. Using a scalpel, I'm well into that sort of an angle of approach and scribing, and cutting my way into that fender at an angle, and that will leave me with the feathered edge more. You can see down there, this is from the sit there. It'll end up being feathered more, give you slightly more material on your actual door panel, and be starting to work your clearances out. Rather than if you went straight down, you'd end up doing. It's hard to explain what I mean, really. You'll end up with a much bigger gap visually because of the tidying up, and you can tidy it up on what you've cut that way, which would be waste. And you'll better. I think I'll end up with better clearance. I know I will. I just know I will. But the rest of it was a straight cut in. It was just getting in and around there. I really found it better to be getting in around there. I really found it better to be cutting it at an angle. I'm sorry, I just drifted off screen, didn't I? Because I haven't got much of a gap all the way around. I've been looking at real ones. Some of them got quite a healthy gap around the real doors on these. There we go. You know, we're getting there. I have got some mesh to make up for these, and the panel insert underneath with the windscreen wiper motor in it, which I've yet to make. I've started on. I was sort of copying the windscreen wiper motor from the firewall with a couple of bits of shapes, tubes, squares. There are all sorts of tubes and squares going on to, you know, scratch build stuff. And I can't get all the resin details that Americans get either. I'm not an expense that makes it viable. These are all good things to make the whole detail of that. I intend, you know, that will stay free at the end, so it'll be fully rotational. There's no point, apart from tightening the pin up when I come to it, it will still be sort of movable. I won't bother gluing it, it will be held there by the pin. After the success on the door catch, I'm thinking of seeing whether I can make this spring backwards and forwards. If I'm right and it's just a lever that you pull like that, it would spring back into place once you've pulled it. I thought, oh, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? Can I make this spring behind somehow? I don't know, all a little bit of experiment. I doubt I'll do that one, but I was quite chuffed with the door handle pinging in and out. That really was quite cool. Ping. As they say, little things please little minds. Don't know how many times that'll work either, but it's a little novelty of detail, isn't it? Right, that's it for now. Cheerio, chaps. Hope you're all well.